Africa Independent Television.
AIT, sharing the African experience.
A typical traffic person is a traumatized person who has lost a lot of confidence in herself.
Every child needs protection from the parents and adults in the society. And children, young adults are particularly vulnerable. And in that situation, they are easy prey to human traffickers.
If you don't have a family or a child abroad, it is seen as if your family is not progressing. So that brings the urge to want to the child to travel out at all costs.
Human trafficking involves recruitment, transportation, harboring, or exercising control over the movement of a person in order to exploit that person, typically through sexual exploitation or forced labor. It can also be described as modern-day slavery. The definition of human trafficking has three elements that has to do with the art, the means, and the purpose. The art here involves recruitment, transportation. Then the means could be as a result of coercion, using force, deception to recruit victims. Then the purpose is basically for sexual exploitation, forced labor, or organ harvest.
According to Oxford Learner's Dictionary, an enabler is a person or thing that encourages or makes it possible for somebody to engage in behavior that is negative or that does them harm.
One day, my brother friend, they bring the man come. The man tell me saying they carry people go travel. Say between 1 month, I don't make her. And I go even the same money come from my family. And I told her, say, okay, if you talk like that, I'm not feel just carry back, follow you like that. You need to go see my family. If my family give you permission to carry me go, then I go follow you. The man could tell me, say, okay.
Looking at the role of enablers, the first question is, who are these enablers? Let's get to understand who these enablers are. They are like middlemen. They are like middlemen who facilitate various processes that would help this trafficking. And they fall into different categories.
The enablers are entities and individuals who engage knowingly or unknowingly in providing products and services that aid and abet human trafficking and forced migration.
These entities aid the process of getting victims to be trafficked with or without their consent.
So a guy came to our compound, met my mother. I was not telling my mom about outside country, that her wife is there, he's doing nanny food, he's cooking for the white people, that he would like me to go and stay with her over there. I will make much money. So in like 2 months or so, I will come back and get some things, build house for my mother.
Investopedia has defined social media as the means of interactions amongst people in which they create, share, and or exchange information and ideas in virtual communities and networks.
Social media can be used positively or negatively. The unfortunate thing is that the social media space is highly unregulated. So anybody can sit down in his comfort of the house and just concoct any information on the social media space. We have seen people who have been trafficked and are suffering abroad in those countries, taking pictures, painting that all was well with them, sending it on their social media handle, convincing, people at home here that are enjoying themselves to think that they are suffering, to come and join them there, to now have double suffering.
How social media is used in promoting human trafficking is that it serves as a tool of recruiting victims. They use social media to advertise for fake job opportunities abroad, and this is becoming very unbecoming. Okay, take for instance these days how job offers do strive across social medias concerning in Dubai, Oman and other Middle East countries, where they advertise job offers that we do not know if it actually exists. And these job offers attract our youth to embark on this journey. Some of them, when they get there, they get trapped. It's either they are trafficked or their organ is harvested or even subjected to forced labor or domestic servitude.
When you go on social media these days, you find that so many youths tend to pour out their problems on social media. And like you find some saying, I need cash, I need this and all that. In the verge of getting help, they find themselves being trafficked. Youths are mainly the targets. Children and women, inclusive, are targets of traffickers. So social media actually has really helped most of these traffickers to get their victims.
That is a means they are using now to do their recruitment. Formerly, the recruitment was coming to community and ask, do you have a daughter that wants to travel? Do you have a brother that wants to do this? I'm in Lagos, will you give me your son so that I will come and learn a trade? After the trade, I will settle such persons, and at the end, they refuse to settle them. So it's no longer like that. It's now like an advert on the internet, and almost every one of us in the rural have access to this internet stuff. So we get this information easily, and it's now becoming deadly because we are acting on such adverts.
Social media, in fact, has made it much easier for traffickers to carry out their trade. How do I mean? We have people who are putting on fake identities on the internet. If a 45, 60-year-old man could be chatting with an 11-year-old girl as an 11-year or 12-year-old girl, and then they know the languages to speak to these children. They gain their confidence, and this is also as a result of parents not being available. Even where parents are available, you will find parents telling you, because we try to tell them, be interested in what your children are doing online. They say, I don't have time for internet. I'm too old for. No, you are not too old for whatever is interesting your child. We had an instance where somebody came and he was in the house with the daughter. The wife too was around. The daughter was online chatting. Then when he just passed by, he noticed that she was watching porn. By the time he came back, took the tab from her, the page brought on something else. It was no longer porn. So this kind of exposure, and then wherever you are, like back in the days when if you were in America, you know that you are talking to somebody in America, and if you don't have that foreign number, or if you don't dial the code, you cannot speak to the person. But a 10-year-old, a 9-year-old girl with the basic telephone can be speaking to anybody anywhere through WhatsApp. So social media is contributing a lot to human trafficking. It is making it easy and faster for people to connect. Before the parents know what is happening, a lot of information has been released online.
Okay, on social media, a lot of things happens there. Like me, I am always there because of the thing I do. First of all, you see some of your friends now posting pictures in Italy or whatever country.
you'll be like, oh, I wish I was there. I wish, like, that motivation to also go and join that your friend. Your friend is posting picture, but your friend is not telling you what he or she is actually doing to survive in that country. They won't tell you. Like, what people will say is that the kind of picture you snap in Nigeria is totally different from the type you snap outside the country. Like how beautiful it used to be. So you'll be like, I want to just go there. Look at my friend, he's making it already. And sometimes too, some people actually advertise all this stuff online. They do advertise it for this thing will take care of you, this, call this number, and they call the number and the person promises to do this. That's why the definition of human trafficking is that transporting people by means of deception. You are transporting them, you are deceiving them, you're not telling them the main thing that they are going to do there. Because if you tell me that, Debbie, I want to take you to Italy for prostitution, there is no way I would agree to come with you. But if you tell me that I want to educate you and I want to help you look for a very good job that you can use to support your family members, I would definitely want to go with you. So through deception, they take these people there.
Social media is also used as a tool of recruiting victims. They also use it to proliferate their human trafficking operations in Nigeria, and even in impersonating victims, in spreading lies and rumors about greener pastures.
A tool that has become revolutionary for businesses and individuals has also turned into a tool of recruitment of victims into slavery and all imaginable vices associated with human trafficking. In addition to social media, the actions of some parents, juju priests, and law practitioners contribute in no small measure to the prevalence of the scourge of human trafficking in Nigeria.
I was told by a friend that I was to go to school abroad and get a job and all of that. That was I was taken to Germany. On reaching Germany, it was more of you have to choose either sex exploitation or sex slavery or carrying of drugs.
A critical look at each of these entities reveals the inherent roles they play in the illicit trade of trafficking in persons.
In many of these cases, there's an agreement between the trafficked and the trafficker, and who will stand for this agreement. It could be a religious leader who would come up and say, well, I know this person is my daughter, is my son. The person stand as a surety. It could be the native doctor or the herbalist who could come and say, oh, take this oath of either allegiance, or you will do whatever thing that we have agreed upon to do. It could also be, it could be a legal person that probably they have a house or something to come and sign a surety or have an agreement. Now, these persons, one way or the other, they are enabling the trafficker, because if they don't stand in the gap to say, okay, let's play this role, there may be little or nothing that the trafficker would do. Like we have the cases before now where a lady, the hair in her armpit, her pubic hair, her pants, and some other things are put together and they are kept. So constantly she's being reminded, remember that your items are still with that native doctor. Yeah, we are Africans, and that will instill a lot of fear in that person, and the person would be scared and will want to comply with whatever thing that the trafficker is doing. Then you have some of all these religious leaders who will call, I stood for you, I did this for you, please try to comply.
Some of them could be offering prayers for them to be successful to cross the Mediterranean. Some of them could be helping the madams, the traffickers abroad, to look for church members who are from the poorest of the poor homes, who are vulnerable in the society. They lure them because when they talk to them as pastors, these girls see them as superior, as their Lord, and they believe and they engage themselves to embark on this journey. Enablers could also be friends of these traffickers. It could be the acquaintances of these traffickers. It could be even lawyers who helps in signing agreement. It could also be native doctors, the ohens, who, according to Benin language, who helps also in making sure that these girls are subjected to an oath that they will not break which will take over them, that they will always be subject to their masters over there.
As night reach, the man call all of us. Come sure. No know say the man na even native doctor. Come carry us enter sure. Come use us to the sweat. This travel when we say we want travel so. If we try and tell any of our family, say wetin they want to use us do for that side, say we go die. With that fear, all of us go cover mats. We now got up. We go ask them, say, how much we want to pay? God will say, if we reach us, say we will pay 500,000, which is for Nigerian money. God say, okay. The man call us swear. God will tell us, say, once we make her, what we will break off for her. Without happening, say, yes, true, with the great name. God tell us, say, each of us come make promise, give us, say, once we make her, according to our state talker, we will call thank her.
We discovered over the year that these native doctors are those that administer oath to these victims. Before they leave the shores of Nigeria, or before they even leave their madam, or they go in agreement, they are meant to take all sorts of oaths. First of all, they have to take blood oaths. They can kill a chicken, eat the heart. They have dry gin, and there are certain materials. Some even have to, like, there are items they need to drop in the shrine. Like sanitary pad, monthly flow, they drop it there. Pants, nails, pubic hair, hairs on hair, they drop it at the shrine. This is a control mechanism that have link on the victim. It also instill fear on this victim and make them to be loyal to their master. Then the lawyers, at times, some of the lawyers, they sign agreements between the trafficker and the victim. When you get to where you are going, this is what you are going to pay, you need to be loyal to your madam. They sign agreements before leaving. Painful, the aspect of it is that at times they sign agreements in ignorance, these victims. They might say, okay, when you get to wherever you are going, Denmark, you are going to pay me 500. They won't say whether it's in Naira, they won't say whether it's in dollars, they don't say whether it's in euro. The person goes with the madam. So it has been said and signed. At the end of the day, it's something that become euro. You are paying and paying and paying and paying. When you convert it, the person have to pay till the person is worn out. At the time the person has finished paying that, the person has, okay, let me rest. That is when the madam will now hand the person to the authority there. Can hang them to immigration officers there, because one, the passport is with the madam.
List of enablers, we cannot actually exhaust them. We will not also rule out security agencies. For those that will be trafficked outside the country, they require international passports. And who gives them international passports? I'm happy with some of the measures that have been in place before you can obtain your international passport that actually help. But before now, some persons could have up to like 3 or 4 passports. I got to know of a case that all the information in the international passport of this lady, they were all different. The only thing that was read there is just her face and probably her fingerprint. So I believe these are roles of enablers. And they know that this is what this thing will be used for. But because of their gain, because of their personal interest, they just want to turn away the blind eye to whatever thing that is happening there. But one thing is this: will their own children be allowed, or the people that they actually care for, be allowed to be subjected to that kind of inhuman treatment? The answer is no. But because it is more of exploitative, at that point in time, the enabler is calculating, his focus or our focus is on what he or she would get.
When you travel illegally, you are putting your life in danger. That there's nothing out there for you if you travel illegally. It's either you are sold into slavery, or you become a prostitute. They sell you, you become a prostitute. All your travel documents will be seized from you until you pay back before you become a free person. And we have had cases of people who have been resold multiple times. So we need to let our people know that through social media, that traveling illegally is like selling yourself into perpetual slavery.
Well, to prevent the activities of these enablers and their influence, a lot of things need to be done, even though they are inexhaustible. But I will just say first, we need to reorientate our value system. We need to reorientate our value system, which is depreciating very, very fast because of our poor value system that has gone down. It gives these enablers a lot of room to do what they are doing. Like I mentioned earlier, if the public, like a pastor, for example, or a religious leader who knows that what this person is going to be involved in is something that is bad, since he will not do it to his own child, he is not at liberty or is not free to do it to the child of another person. So we need to get some of all these values back. And because many of these persons are deceived, we also need to intensify some of this awareness, especially in the area of information. So if you're telling somebody that, oh, from where you are now you can become better, the person should understand that there is a price that he or she is going to pay for that. And people should be able to now follow through the process and not just following blindly. Because when the persons who are targeted, the vulnerable ones, are well informed, are well positioned, you're able to ask some questions, and this question will definitely put these enablers or these traffickers off. Let's say, for example, you want to tell somebody, oh, come, I will take you to America. If you get to America, this is what you are going to get, what you are going to get. The person should look at, oh, the way I am now, what are the things, or what are you going to do for me to get to that place? By the time questions are coming up, are being asked, you see that these people will want to just shy away and walk from that particular person. So these enablers, their duties can actually be foiled if there is adequate information. And of course, for those who are arrested, they should be properly persecuted. They should be properly persecuted and let the public know what happened to them. By so doing, it will serve as a deterrent. And of course, we cannot stop also talking about their traps, the path that leads to some of all these activities. The quest for quick riches is also a challenge, and if we are able to address that, it will also be good. Addressing unemployment is also good, because if this, especially these young persons, if they are well employed, they are occupied, they are busy, they may not have that time to start thinking about, because even if you want to schedule an agreement or probably a meeting to convince them, you may not even have that opportunity because they are busy in their workplace or the other. And of course, we need to monitor a lot of things. Parents need to be talked to know what, where, and what their children are doing.
Human trafficking can be defeated. Many lives can be saved, but it will require the cooperation of all. Like Johann Wolfgang said, let everybody sweep in front of his own door, and the whole world will be clean.
Africa Independent Television. AIT, their communication, open TV. For this country, they make great history. Africa Independent Television.
AIT, sharing the African experience.